Hey guys, like most of you, I'm inherently bored right now, and so I decided I would try to make a video going over my DC collection. Here's just a small preview of what all I have. Never done this before, so it's going to be super amateur. So sorry for shaky video, sorry for any amateur things that annoy you. It's the disclaimer that this is not trying to be professional, it's just me honestly being very bored. And you guys are the only ones that care about this. So my collection's a mixture of, and I guess I'll give a shout out to my Star Wars and Dragon Ball shelf, a very modest Star Wars and Dragon Ball shelf. Everything in my collection is primarily DC. I started, Batman's my favorite, so I started collecting him several years ago, and then just kind of built everything from there. It's a lot of DC collectibles. I think I have most all the essentials, most all the icons line, both the multiverse, the Mattel Multiverse and the Mcfarlane Multiverse, and then some of the DC Universe classics, and then just some random lines like the Unmasked line, the Hush line, just, you'll see in the Greg Capullo Batman, or just DC line in general, mainly Batman, but DC figures are some of my favorites, and if you're a comics fan, I recommend them. So I made a video the other day, and it was way too long. I'm going to try to go a lot quicker and not ramble as much. So first shelf is the DC Collectibles. This is the entire Batman the Animated Series collection. The only things I don't have are the Harley Quinn Expressions pack, because I already have 2 Harleys in the animated style, and I'm not such a big fan. I need the Expressions pack, and then obviously Renee Montoya, who comes with the GCPD Rogues 4-pack that's gotten up to like $500, and they released the villains in that pack. You can kind of see Freeze and Ivy right there. They released those in individual packaging for only $25 a piece, like a few months ago, and so I'm not such a insane collector that I really need Montoya. So top shelf, all the lights are still off. We got Gordon and Bullock at the Signal, 3D printed grapnel gun from the animated series. Got it off Etsy. Apparently Mezco, or I'm not a big Mezco guy, but Mezco or one of those higher end companies, I believe, maybe NECA, are going to start making the actual props from the movies, replicas, like full scale. Thought I was done collecting till I saw those at Comic-Con, so or pictures of them. I wasn't at Comic-Con, but really excited about those. Obviously Batman, Robin, and Batgirl is the Batman. I have several Batmans at this point, so I think that's the one that came with the, yeah, it is, because it has the soft goods cape, so it's the one that came with the Batmobile. You can sit him in there. We're in the Batwing. The Batmobile, if you're going to buy one thing from this set, if you're a fan of this series, go with the Batmobile. And get the pack with it. It comes with the Bat Signal, Batman, and Robin. It's pretty awesome. The DC Collectibles Cave for the animated series comes with Alfred. Put the tools from the Expressions pack on the table. Alfred's scolding him for being dirty. And we got the Expressions pack Bruce with this weird looking head, but I'm a big fan of Unmasked Batman, so there's his weird head. It kind of looks okay if you go straight on, but still pretty. The neck's way too long. It looks like a giraffe. But I love the cave. It's a great centerpiece for a collection. It comes with that cool backdrop. I was hoping they'd make some more modules, like a turntable for the Batmobile, but I guess that would be so big that very few people could display it. So this is probably a good size because it still fits on a shelf. My batteries are dead in this for some reason. I barely have turned it on, but I probably just need to get aftermarket batteries. But this is the DC Collectibles Bat Cycle with the posable soft goods cape that came out a few weeks ago, or a few months ago now, I guess. But this is also, one of the things that if you're not too serious into getting everything, this is a must-have, because it's only like $50 and it's awesome. Batgirl just fell over, so this is going to be awkward. I'm going to look like a loser who can't keep his figures in line. This is the Epic Batwing. It's also my cat, Luke. Hi, Luke. He's like, what's up? Why'd you wake me up? So this is probably the biggest vehicle I've ever seen as far as a toy. It also has lights. I just didn't turn them on. They are not dead right now, but they're really only in the back and in the cockpit, so there's not much you can see in the front. This thing's pretty epic. Eventually I'm going to suspend it here above the ceiling so it doesn't take up this entire space. That's the only problem, is trying to display it, but it's still an awesome piece. Got villains sandwiched between the heroes, or they're the bread to the hero sandwich. These are, I guess these are my favorite villains from the series. They're the major villains. You got Riddler, Two-Face, Joker, Harley, Penguin, Scarecrow, Bane that just came out, then the two Jokers. Then you have the Batman Beyond 3-pack, Bruce Terry and Beyond on a flight stand from one of the Expressions packs. Grey Ghost and Zatanna. Obviously, Bruce and Terry were not from the original animated series, but those guys are up here. I'm going to get the lights for the rest of this. Sorry about that. So, this is the Justice League from DC Collectibles from the animated series. Just amazing figures. I know that if you're familiar with this line, the one big gripe is that they didn't come with any accessories, and the only really egregious things that accessory-wise I think that they're missing is Hawk Girl's mace. That's the biggest one, and then Wonder Woman's lasso. Batman couldn't hurt to have come with a Batarang from that series, but I ended up just using one from the Expressions pack. It worked pretty well. Got these nice metal flight stands off eBay. They really support any figure that I have. You see on this shelf, Man-Bat's back there on one too. I could not find a good flight stand for him because even the one that came with the Expressions pack that Terry's on didn't really hold him. It would fall over even if you screwed it tightly, especially with his wing spread. Most people have complained about figures in this series not being able to stand. I've really only had that issue with Mad Hatter and Man-Bat. Man-Bat will stand if you fold his wings in completely. You can balance them, but you can kind of see here I have Mad Hatter. I'm cheating a little bit because he's sticky tacked to the white wall to stand up without a stand. So also really glad I got Holiday Joker before this new re-release, because I don't like that sheen on him now. It's really kind of weird and out of place for the series, at least I think. But yeah, I really love this shelf. It's the other villains from the original series. You got Clayface, Man-Bat, Hardak, Talia, Raj, Ventriloquist, Ivy, and Freeze, I think, is one of my favorite figures from this line. I was waiting for a long time for them to release him. So that is kind of, the original animated series, Justice League and Beyond. Then this entire line of shelves is for the new adventures. Kind of same villains there. You got Bane and Scarecrow, Firefly, Ivy, Catwoman, Clarion, I think, and as Kitty, and Livewire. That's her name. I always get that wrong. I always think that's Killer Frost. And then Roxy Rocket's tucked back there on her little rocket. You got Etrigan, Firesuit Batman, Creeper, awesome figure. I love that Creeper figure. Not even the biggest Creeper fan, but it's still an awesome figure. Really, same with Etrigan. Dark Knight Returns, Batman and Carrie Kelly from the episode where they tell all the stories about Batman. Batgirl fell over, not picking her up. But then it'd just be awkward. So, it's New Adventures Batgirl fell over. Batman is barely held together. His feet both fell off. That was actually the first figure I got when I started. Well, second. My first figure that I ever bought when I started collecting was Multiverse Ben Affleck Batman, before Batman vs. Superman came out. And not even a big fan of the Snyder movies, but I did like Ben Affleck as Batman for a while. This was the second figure I ever owned. It's the one with the peg holes, and both feet had broken in the time I've owned it, and just I know that was a big issue, so I'm waiting on that re-release to come out, and I'll eventually replace him, but probably still keep this guy somewhere just for sentimental value. Lois and Clark from the Superman 2-pack, Supergirl. Supergirl and Batgirl were all from the Girls' Night Out set. That came with Livewire, Harley, and a few others. So I don't have the actual individual figures of those. I just got that set to get them. This is the last New Adventures shelf. Croc, Freeze, Two-Face, Joker, the Hyenas, Harley, and Riddler. Still can't believe we have Riddler, who was in the show for 20 seconds and not a New Adventures Penguin, but whatever. So that's all my animated series collection. I'm going to hop in this chair so it's less shaky. This starts my comic collection, so I kind of have it in order of appearance. So technically we go to 1939 Batman. And then we've got the original line, or just the, you know, the 50s, kind of 50s and 60s look into Dick Grayson becoming Nightwing, which I think happened in the 70s, so maybe he's a little out of place there. But Batgirl also, maybe you could probably put her in the 70s in that suit as well, but that's just kind of the early era of Batman, Robin. That's obviously the DC Collectibles Robin, Unmasked Batgirl. Batman came in I forgot the line. I think it's DC Collectibles as or Nightwing and Joker, or DC Universe Classics, one of the two. No, I think it's DC Universe Classics. Then we have Nightfall era. So this is kind of the early 90s Nightfall era. You got one of my favorite figures ever, which is the Nightfall Batman, Azrael, Catwoman, Essentials Batman, Teen Titans Tim Drake Robin, and from the Nightfall figure line, Nightwing. Love that Nightwing suit. A lot of Bat families here. I go into the Hush era. So this unmasked figure is from the Unmasked line. Great Bruce Wayne head. Puts the animated series one to shame, but that's actually the first time Batman ever went trunkless. I think it was during No Man's Land, maybe right after. And then he went into wearing this suit in the Jim Lee era pretty much indefinitely until he died in R.I.P. Then we have Multiverse Nightwing, Hush line, Joker and Riddler, and my favorite Robin suit of all time, the Tim Drake red suit with the long sleeves. That's DC Universe Classics as well, I believe. Maybe DC Collectibles, I always forget between those two. Here's just some random Batman. Obviously Dick Grayson became Batman after Bruce from kind of the Jim Lee era. I'm missing a Batman Inc. Batman. That's really what I need to kind of bridge the gap between Dick Grayson Batman and the New 52. But there's just some variants there to Thomas Wayne, Gotham by Gaslight, Batman, Lee Bermejo, Batman, Multiverse Batman Beyond, and Year One, Greg Capullo. Shout out to my Arkham 3-pack. Robin's hand broke off like 2 days ago when I was trying to make the first video. There's some graphic novels, and the awesome, I actually love this thing, especially for like $25. The Bat Raptor from Mcfarlane. It's the new one. It appeared in the Batman Who Laughs story for like 5 pains, but it's awesome. I'd still love a full-size Batmobile. I love the current Batmobile that debuted in Rebirth, but the Raptor's pretty awesome for the price point. And I've got the DC Multiverse Rebirth Batman in there. Rebirth is definitely my favorite suit. I'm kind of sad they went back to the trunks for both Batman and Superman, but it is what it is. This is probably my favorite shelf, just to kind of give you a little quick preview. Kind of the current era of Batman. I'm really having fun putting together this nice villains collection. Here we've got Greg Capullo, Talon, Croc, Deadshot, I think are DC Universe Classics. Hush and Ivy from the Hush line. Hugo Strange, which there's very few Hugo Strange figures, from Arkham City. Black Mask is from, I think, like, I forget, just one of the random lines from a few years ago. Again, Talon, the Greg Capullo Talon is all the Greg Capullo figures. Like, this video will not do the detail of those figures justice. I'm a big fan of the Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo run on Batman, so those figures are just amazing. I'm kind of mad at myself I still don't have the Nightwing. Also really love the red Nightwing New 52 suit. So there's Deathstroke, that's Icon's Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul from the Trinity line, DC Universe Classics Penguin, DC Universe Classics Man-Bat, the Epic Mattel Build-A-Figure Clayface. That's like next to the Justice Buster. That's probably my favorite Build-A-Figure that I've ever put together, period. Kind of go back to, we'll go through the villains first and into the heroes. Here's my favorite villain shelf. So we've got DC Universe Classics Bane, Greg Capullo, Mr. Freeze back there. We've got the New 52 Joe's Garage Joker. That's actually an amazing figure as well. Like the detail of the tool in his belt and just a lot of stuff on that figure is awesome. Two-Face from the Multiverse line. It's kind of gotten a little expensive. It's part of the Clayface Build-A-Figure line. Multiverse Joker. That's not the Capullo Joker. It's the Multiverse one. I like the face it comes with. the Multiverse, Mcfarlane Multiverse Batman Who Laughs, which if you like that story, that figure is perfect. Like, I don't know how you do a figure of the Batman Who Laughs better than that for $20. Arkham Knight Scarecrow, Riddler, which Greg Capullo Riddler may be my favorite figure. I'm not even, like, I love the Riddler, I love Zero Year, but that figure is just, it's perfect. If you're going to buy a Riddler figure, that's the one. New 52, except for Red Robin, who's kind of out of place there. I need to get the Tim Drake Red Robin, but I really actually hate that suit. I really like this one with the cowl. Have Red Hood, the Multiverse. I forgot what line that Nightwing's from, but it's New 52 Nightwing, Damian, another two amazing Capullo figures, Jim Gordon and Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. Look at that detail, man. That Batgirl suit is amazing. I love that figure. When the New 52 came out, the figures that came out with them for the Justice League and like Batman kind of sucked. Like, they were really bad detail. The face sculpts were awful. So I ended up getting this Jim Lee GameStop Hush that is a lot better, at least because I think just a lot more attention to detail was put in. It's still the same mold, still lacking the articulation of the current Multiverse or Essentials figures, but I think they call those Essentials too. But that's a pretty cool figure as far as just being the centerpiece for my New 52 heroes. And then you have Jim Gordon Batman back there, and the Multiverse Year One, not to be confused with the Capullo Year One on the other shelf. So kind of the big current heroes. We got Multiverse, McFarlane, Batgirl, Essentials Nightwing. I think that's the Darwin Cook Catwoman. There's actually very few good Catwoman figures in our current suit. That's the McFarlane Multiverse Batman, which will be getting replaced with the Rebirth Batman. I'll probably, because really Rebirth has now become kind of its own aesthetic. Like, now you can take that new Batman from McFarlane, the new Batgirl, and put them kind of in their own shelf. May need to get another Damian, because I kind of want this to be my Rebirth shelf, because Rebirth was my favorite era. I really like Detective in that era, and love Scott Snyder, and well, I guess I love Tom King as well as Scott Snyder, what he was doing. So got Spoiler, kind of the detective family here. Tim Drake, Spoiler, Batwoman, Batwing, Alfred, Damian again. I forgot what line he's from. Most of those are Multiverse, except for Batgirl's Essentials and Red Hood is Essentials, which another great figure. I can't express how much I love the Essentials line. So that's kind of my big Batman specific comic collection. Oh, forgot the best part. Mech suits. So Build-A-Figure Rookie, or not Rookie, I'm sorry, well, that's Rookie from the Greg Capullo line, but the guy that sold it to me loose didn't send me the Rookie head and then never answered my emails, which made me sad. So if you have a spare Rookie head, I'd love it. May just have to get the Build-A-Figure one to have the Rookie version, because I've heard it's really awesome. This is the Justice Buster from Endgame, and it's epic. It's very heavy duty. For a long time, I just had like the arms, and I wasn't expecting it to be a very great figure just based on the arms, but it's amazing. For a Build-A-Figure especially. Mattel really did great on those. I love this little Batmobile that's the Build-A-Figure for McFarlane, but they need to step it up compared to the last few that Mattel did. And I think as well as what DC Universe Classics used to do. Obviously that's the Hellbat for $20. I mean, that's the thing about McFarlane, is they made some of these figures, like the Hellbat stands up with any of the rest of these, but the rest of these are triple the price at least. So, I think that really for what McFarlane's doing, they're doing a great job, and this is an amazing figure. I'm also biased because I loved the Robin Rises story, even though I'm more into the grounded Batman, but Snyder had a way of sucking me into the fantastical stuff because I even like metal. And then here's the Thrasher suit that he fights the Court of Owls in. It's also from the Capullo line. You can see the awesome Bruce Wayne head there too. So back to this. So this shelf, I got it off Craigslist from IKEA, and it'll fit 7-inch figures except for these middle shelves, but they were just the right size to fit some icons. So I've got Lex, Superman from the Icons line, Batman, Joker. That Joker could really go with my Nightfall era, because that's kind of the era he's from. But you got Batman, the Joker, and Harley from the Icons line. There's a shout out to the Batman. Down here, we'll go to the most boring one first. Superman villains. So Doomsday Build-A-Figure, Superman Doom, Bizarro, Build-A-Figure Superman Lex, normal Lex, forgot what he's from, probably DC Universe Classics. It's hard to find a good Lex figure sometimes. They haven't made a good one lately, especially. That's the Essentials, Cyborg Superman, and Ultraman, and Johnny Quick from the Crime Syndicate. I'm going to try to collect the whole New 52 Crime Syndicate next, but that Owlman's expensive. Sorry if you guys hear that train. It runs by my house. But so here is my Legion of Doom, Darkseid, and Grail, which actually they're not from the same package. Grail is from the New 52. I got her loose somehow without getting the Darkseid, and that Darkseid is from the Batman the Batman and Superman line from a few years ago. I think it was the one from that movie, the animated movie with Supergirl. Forgot what it's called. Maybe Unbound? No, I don't know. Not Unbound. The one after Public Enemies. You guys know what I'm talking about. So all of these are Essentials except for, this is just a Legion of Doom basically. Except for Lex Luthor, that's a Universe Classics, and the Black Adam is a New 52. The only Essentials I think I don't have right now are Harley and Black Adam and Shazam 2-pack. I think that's all I don't have. I had these New 52 Shazam and Black Adams, and I actually really like them. I like the sparkly fingers on Black Adam. And I like I don't know. I'm not a huge Shazam guy, so I love the movie actually, but just not a huge Shazam guy. But anyway, so Legion of Doom, Brainiac, Deathstroke, Manta, Cheetah, Joker, Reverse Flash. I gotta say, I'm proud of myself. I got Reverse Flash for $22 in an eBay auction, so he's out there for cheap. Just, put your eBay watches on, or your watch the auction, and make sure you get them. Sinestro, also love Sinestro. I was really happy to kind of complete this. I just got that Lex loose a few days ago, and he's a great centerpiece for that, so I really love that figure. Here's probably my favorite shelf. It's really not displayed well just because the Hawks are down in the back and I need to move it, but it's the Justice League, the definitive Justice League. Hawkgirl from DC Collectibles, Hawkman from New 52, Essentials Flash, Cyborg's actually not in there. Essentials Flash, Aquaman, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. You can kind of see him back there. There he is. There's Hal. That is the Multiverse, Mattel Multiverse John Stewart that scales really well with them. That is the Unmasked line, Martian Manhunter. See him there. That's the Universe Classics Green Arrow. And then, yeah, like I said earlier, New 52 Shazam. There's a better shot of the Hawks on the back. All on flight stands, all posed. Love Rebirth Batman there. I'm really kind of pissed about Superman because, I hate the way they're red. You can still see it above his trunks. The reason is they, at the last minute, they were going to release the Rebirth Superman suit, I think, the one with the red boots after the two merged. The very last minute, when Bendis put him back on the trunks, they just kind of painted the trunks on. Was not a big fan of that. I really wish they just kept the Rebirth release. And now I think when they re-release it in that pack, they're going to fix the belt, make it chrome, put the belt loops in there. That said, this is a good transition from this shelf to my Superman shelf. Centerpiece right now is actually the Mcfarlane Multiverse Superman. I think it makes a great centerpiece. I love the way they actually got the trunks right, where you can't see them just painted on. I don't know what you guys have a problem with the head sculpt. I think it looks great. The only thing I agree with, as far as the main critiques, are the hands. Man, those things look like Charlie Kelly's uncle's hands. They're real small. So, but that's the there's Kellex. I lost his stand, so he's just sitting on some sticky tack ready to help. That's the Essentials, or not the Essentials, the Multiverse, Mattel Multiverse Superman, the Essentials New 52 Superman, Universe Classics Red and Blue Superman, Earth 2 or Earth 1 Superman back there, Multiverse, Essentials Supergirl, Multiverse, DC Universe Classics Steel and Superboy. There's the Mcfarlane Multiverse, Unchained Armor, and Mattel Multiverse Kingdom Come. And then the Icons Rebirth, which the Icons Rebirth, I actually have 2 of them. You'll see the other one down here displayed more prominently. That's like the best Superman figure that there is, I think. That thing is amazing. It's beautiful. I'm a big fan of the no trunks looks too. So this is the Batman shelf from the movies. Sorry, I had to tell my wife to go away. It was very embarrassing and awkward. She judged me a lot. This is the Batman movie kind of universe shelf. Sorry, Ben Affleck, but you're down on the bottom shelf. But got the Burton films here. NECA Batman from '89, Mattel Multiverse, Batman Forever, Multiverse Alfred, Multiverse Penguin, Multiverse Joker. It's the closest thing you're going to get to Nicholson unless you want to break the bank for Hot Toys. It's a Two-Face figure I had when I was a kid. I used to chew on its head. Batmobile, and then just the 66 line of figures. That Robin is actually the one that came with the first Batman from the comic line we looked at in a 2-pack, but he looks just like Burt Ward and looks way better than the Burt Ward figure, so he's playing Burt Ward. And then the Dark Knight era, those are Mafex, Joker, Dark Knight Batman, and Begins Batman. And then I think those are the movie masters, Alfred, Scarecrow, and Bane. So there's that. Green Lantern shelf. The ever-coveted Jessica Cruz, ever-coveted DC Universe Classics Kilowog, not the Build-A-Figure, but just the regular one. The Guardians, the John Stewart from the Mattel Multiverse line. Some Hal Jordans, Kyle Rayners, Guy Gardners, Black and Yellow Lanterns. And then the Trinity, these are just icons. I think Wonder Woman's actually Multiverse, but that Superman's so beautiful. Look at how good he looks. Yeah. I even don't mind the blue boots, but I hated him in the comics. Teen Titans, Multiverse, Mcfarlane Multiverse Nightwing, which is also a fantastic figure, though. I'd have to say I think Essentials is my favorite, followed closely by Mcfarlane Multiverse, followed in a distant third by Mattel Multiverse. Icons, Beast Boy and Cyborg, and then Icons, Blue Beetle and Cyborg, and then Multiverse, Beast Boy, and 2 Reverse Flashes, and that's the Universe Classics Arsenal, or Red Arrow, I guess. I'm gonna spend just a second on this one, though he's the one that started it all right there. Thanks, Batfleck. This is from the DCEU. Hi, Luke. He's awake now. He wants to play, so we'll have to wrap this up. I know, dude. It's cool. So there's Supergirl, Flash, Reverse Flash, some random Batman I've gotten in random trades. Most underrated figure they've released, which is the Black Manta from the Aquaman movie. And this is who the Justice League should have consisted of and looked from the beginning. Not Aquaman wearing that weird bondage suit. There's a shout out to Build-A-Figure Ninja Batman. And then kind of the last big shelf. Got my Dark Knight Returns display. Mostly multiverse figures, Mattel Multiverse, except for Batman and Superman. Let me get around here a little better. Batman and Superman are from a 2-pack from DC Collectibles, I believe. That Joker head sculpt may be one of the best multiverse head sculpts there are, too. Then we've got the Capullo, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman from the New 52. This is kind of the New 52 Justice League. That Flash came in a 2-pack with the one from the movie with Ezra Miller from the Multiverse line, and then Green Lantern. I think I just got him individually from the New 52 line. Then we got Icons, Aquaman, Green Arrow, Cyborg, and that Captain Atom I got for $5 at my comic store the other day, just because I didn't have one from the Batman Superman line. So I really like those. This New 52 Superman is honestly so much better than the Essentials one, the Capullo one. Jai Lee has a really cool one out there too of New 52 Superman. If you like New 52 Superman, either of those figures are much better than the standard Essentials in my opinion. Though they look a lot different depending on who drew them. Last 2 shelves. Just some random icons, Firestorm, New 52 Wonder Woman, some Multiverse, Black Lightning, the Atom, a couple of Flashes, a duplicate of Wally West Flash, Ted Cord Blue Beetle, and I can't remember if this one is Icons Aquaman or that one is Icons Aquaman, but they're both shorter scale. And then last shelf is Vixen and the Ray, who I only own because I wanted the Lex Luthor Build-A-Figure, Big Barda, and Mr. Miracle, and then the Justice League Dark, a couple of Icons, and Deadman and Swamp Thing, Zatanna, and Constantine. So, my cat wants this to be done. He's scratching on stuff. Thanks for watching this. If you enjoyed it, maybe one day I'll try to make a better one. Give a quick shout out to Dragon Ball. Some Dragon Stars. And Star Wars. Oh, they're falling over. How embarrassing. Someone's going to lecture me on how I keep my figures. Anyway, thanks for watching this, guys. Hope you'll have a very safe and happy quarantine. Batman, go Cowboys.